my needle through about 5 or 6 beads. Actually, let me pick up 2 more right here. Okay, so you can see my thread pulling through, and before I pull it all the way through, I'm going to poke that straight down. I'm going to go through the interfacing, and I'm going through that leather. And what's going to happen is that tail is going to be hidden in those beads, but I'm going to pull it really snug, and that knot is catching right in there, but it completely hides it. Okay, that's probably the technique I use most frequently. I know some beaders, are probably saying bad things about me right now, but the other technique would be to leave the tail out, do your beadwork, and then secure your 2 tails together at the end. So, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right back in right next to where I went in. Not the same hole, I'm actually creating a new hole. And yes, going through leather is a little bit challenging. I'm not going to lie about that, but if you have good sharp beading needles, you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, so I'm now back through the front side. I'm going to pick up 2 beads, and I hope these are big enough that you can see. You know what? I'm going to use these red ones. It's not going to turn out the way, but for demonstrative purposes, I think you'll get the idea. So I'm going to come in here. I have my 2 beads. Okay. I'm going to lay those beads down right next to each other, and I'm only doing that to gauge my distance. Okay. So I've got those 2 beads laying right down together. I'm coming through the front side of the interfacing, back through the leather. Okay, and it's okay that my beads are dangling down there. And then on the second bead, I'm going to come right up through the bottom and out through the top. Okay, I'm going to pick up 1 bead, and I'm going to go through the front of the interfacing, and until you kind of can gauge the distance, you may want to, put your bead there next to it and figure out about where the center of the hole is. Again, I've been beading a long time, so I can gauge the distance pretty easily. Poke down through the interfacing and through the leather. Okay, and then right back up through the top. Okay, I'm going to do that and continue that all the way around the bead until I get down to my very last bead. And on that one, as this comes out through the top, I will be entering down through the top of this bead and then securing it, and it'll make that bead lay flat. See how he's kind of like freewheeling it over here? He's kind of, not where he should be. When you work all the way around, and it'll become obvious, you need to go down and then through the back. Now, if you use if I were using smoke fireline, you would not be able to see any of this on the back at all. Okay, you can see it because I did not use the smoke color, so you can see those stitches. But if I was using smoke, you would not be able to see that. And in case you don't believe me, this was done with smoke, and you can't see those stitches. They don't show up. So if you're working with a dark leather, you definitely want to, use the smoke colored fireline on the back, because you need also to catch enough leather on the back to secure these beads down. Now, another thing you can do, if you wanted to do like a little picot stitch, with 3 beads on there, you can get decorative and do some different things. On this one, that's exactly what I did. You can see I came up and I basically did the same little stitch. I just did it with 3 beads, and it created a little bit different edge around it. This is probably, in my opinion, the nicer finished edge if you're trying to get a nice straight edge. It just helps the beads to lay really nicely. Okay, and once you have that done, really that's going to finish your edge. And if you've done a bracelet, or if you have done, separate pieces and components, now they're ready for you to assemble however you would like them to be. Okay, so bead embroidery is actually really easy. Have fun with it. If you make a mistake, if you don't like your work, tear it out, and you can start over. So I hope this was helpful, and have a wonderful day.